Hello, welcome to your English lesson. Today we're going to be working a subject of the A2 level. So let's share our screen. We're going to go directly to Unit 8. Okay. My name is Teacher Elisa. Welcome to this English lesson. So here we are. So we are going to be using the vocabulary for clothes. Okay, we're going to be using the vocabulary for clothes. So here we are. We have some vocabulary here, as you can see. Let me try to find a way to share this. Okay. So here it is. We have the name of the store, which is Laney Trainer. And we have here the vocabulary. We have the outerwear, jackets, sweaters, gloves, underwear, and lingerie, boxers, bras, panties, hosiery, we call hosiery, socks, tights, pantyhose, and bags and accessories, purses, belts. We also have sleepwear, men's and women's pajamas, women's nightgowns, bathrobes, and athletic wear like running shoes, shorts, running pants. Okay? So we're going to be using this vocabulary. And we also had some conversation here, and it's about going shopping. Okay. So remember that in the book, we have a lot of conversations with different accents. In this case, we have a Chinese speaker and a Russian speaker. It says, for example, excuse me, how much is that V-neck? Here it has some vocabulary, V-neck. This red one is 55. That's not too bad, and it's really nice. So V-neck, cuello V. Could I get it in a larger size? Here you go. This one's a medium. Would you like to try it on? So we have larger size. So size is talla, larger size, una talla más grande. No thanks, I'll just take it. It's a present for my sister. Will you be nice enough to gift wrap it for me? Of course. So this is a basic conversation to go shopping. As you can see, we have also the basic questions like how much is it? No, how much is that V-neck? How much is that dress? How much is it? ¿Cuánto es? ¿Cuánto cuesta? And also to ask for a size, you can say, could I get it in a bigger size, in a larger size, sorry, in a smaller size? Um, and they also can ask you, would you like to try it on? ¿Te gustaría probártelo? So we're going to be working with the clothes. And in here we have more specific vocabulary, which I find very, very interesting. So we have, for example, here casual clothes, okay? And we also have sweaters and jackets, and we have shoes. But this is going to be more specific, okay? So this on the right, you have formal clothes. Formal clothes like a dress, a skirt, a suit, a tie. So for example, jeans, we have a t-shirt. For us, a t-shirt will be like una camiseta. A sweatshirt, viene siendo para nosotros pues como un suéter. A polo shirt, pues una camisa polo. Sweatpants es lo que a veces nosotros en español le decimos pants o pantalones deportivos. Sweatpants. And let's talk a bit more about the sweaters and jackets. More specific information, for example, a crew neck es el cuello redondo. We say it in Spanish. A cardigan, this is what they call a cardigan. Sometimes in Spanish we call them as well sweaters, but it's a cardigan. A turtleneck, well, obviously es un cuello de tortuga. A V-neck, well, that's cuello V. A windbreaker es lo que también en español decimos rompevientos. A blazer. A blazer, creo que le damos el mismo nombre, pues como un saco, ¿no? And we have the shoes. For example, we have Oxfords, which is basically men's shoes, men formal shoes. We also have loafers. These, I think, are a bit more informal. I've heard that in Spanish we call them casimir. Casimir? Mocasín, sorry. We have sandals as well. We have running shoes. This is very important because in Spanish we say, voy a llevar mis tenis. I'm going to wear my running shoes. Okay? Sometimes you can see it in books as sneakers, although sneaker is also a brand. This one, sometimes they can call them yeah, my heels, my high heels, and they also call them pumps. Flats are what we call, I think we call them flats as well in Spanish. No tienen talón, no tienen tacón. Okay, so this is to be even more specific with the vocabulary. All right, here's an example. I'm wearing black jeans and a white turtleneck today. So as you can see, you have the color and then the shape, white turtleneck today. And we're going to be using the object pronouns. Entonces, aquí es cuando, here, very important. So the direct object, for example, let me underline this for you. We have here, I want the cardigan. I want these pumps. So we're going to use a substitute for this, okay? And is what we call a pronoun. I want it. I love them. So instead of saying, I want the cardigan, I want the sweater, I want the polo shirt, you can say, I want it. It's one, okay? And instead of saying, I love these pumps, I love these Oxfords, I love these sweatpants, you can say, I love them. So it's just like a substitution of the direct object. Okay. In Spanish, we have it as well. Sometimes you can say, quiero el suéter. En español diríamos, lo quiero, ¿no? Me encantan esos zapatos. Esos me encantan, ¿no? So this is what the object pronouns do. Okay, they are like a substitution of the direct object in a phrase, and we have them here. So if, for example, for I, you're going to substitute it with me. You doesn't change. He, him, she, her. It, we, us, they, them. I'm going to write an example here. Look, it's like, for example, if you say, I'm not going to talk about clothes right now. I'm going to say something more general to help you. I like Matthew. Me gusta Matthew. Entonces, so we are going to say in English, me gusta él. So it would be, I like him. As you can see, it's the one we have here. I love him. I can also say, for example, I want the new, I want the new earphones. So you are going to use a substitution for earphones, right? It's plural, so you would say, I want them. Okay, so this is something you would use in any situation when you want to use a word that can substitute the direct object. What is it that you want? What is it that you're going to buy? What is it that you love that you don't want? That's the direct object. Okay, so you're going to use the object pronouns instead of the direct object. Okay, and these are the object pronouns. Let's check the grammar you have here. For example, it says, we gave the loafers to the clerk. So we gave the loafers to him, right? Because it's a boy. If it was a girl, you say, we gave the loafers to her. Is he buying a blazer for his wife? For his wife? Is he buying a blazer for her? Is he buying a blazer for for her husband? Is she buying a blazer for him? Right? So it's to change the word. Now this is when you have prepositions. As you can see, you have to and for, to him, for her, to her, for him, etc. But you can use the object pronouns here to, instead of using the direct object. And sometimes you can see these prepositions to him, for her, to us, etc. So sometimes in a sentence, you have a direct object and a prepositional phrase. So let's look at the example. It says, we gave the V-neck to the clerk, right? Instead of saying we gave to the clerk the V-neck. So you're going to start always by the direct object. He's buying it for her, okay? No, he's buying for her it. So you start always with the direct object, and after that you add the prepositional phrase. Honestly, as I always say in all of our classes, it is important to practice, to get involved with the language even more so that you can feel that it's natural. So this is the grammar, this is how it works in theory. But the more you listen to podcasts, the more you watch movies or read books in English of your level, you will feel like this sort of or type of phrases become more natural for you, because at the beginning they can seem like weird, but it becomes natural for you when you practice them, okay? So let's try this to practice the object pronouns. It says, did you buy the green sweatpants? Yes, I bought them yesterday. It's like saying, ¿compraste los nuevos pantalones deportivos? Sí, los compré ayer. El los es como este, ¿no? I bought them yesterday. Here it is. Number 2. Don't you love these cool windbreakers? Yes, I love them, right? Because it's plural. And they're so cheap. Should I buy this crew neck over here? Here you have, it's just one, this crew neck over here. It's too expensive, don't buy it. I love this t-shirt. Again, it's singular. I'm buying it for Dad. You see, I'm buying it for Dad. Tienes primero, la voy a comprar para papá. No vas a decir, I'm buying it for Dad, it. Okay? I'm buying it, the object pronoun, and then the phrase with the preposition, for Dad. Don't buy it for him that hates black clothes. No la compres para él, ¿no? Aquí tenemos otro ejemplo cuando está la pronunciación for him. Number 5, does your daughter want this cardigan? It's singular. Okay, here it is, the direct object. Yes, she definitely wants it. Or you can do the, like make a little link. Like, yes, she definitely wants it, but she needs a size large. This one's too small. I'm sure you can get it. For, what is the answer here? I'm sure you can get it for her because she's talking about her daughter in large, ask the clerk. So clerk is clearly the person who's helping us when we are buying in a department store. Did you want that blue polo shirt? Again, here we have it, sir. Yes, thanks. I like to buy it because it's just once. Could you gift wrap it for me? Please. There you go. So this is example of several sentences. Honestly, for me, when I'm doing this with you, when we're doing this exercise, I don't really need to think a lot about the rules, because after listening and speaking English for a while and practicing every day, I speak English on a daily basis. Really, it becomes natural. You don't even have to think about it. So remember, this new grammar now can be weird, awkward, or whatever, but it's practicing that is going to help you sound and feel like it's natural. Okay? All right. Let's continue. Remember that this is a very quick lesson of Unit 2. So we're using closed vocabulary and the object pronouns like this. Remember that the object pronouns, you can use them with anything. For example, I can tell now. Vi un reloj que me gustó y lo compré para mi esposo. I saw a watch that I loved and I buy it for my husband. And I buy it for him. Okay? El it es lo que reemplaza al reloj. That's how you're going to use them in any occasion in life when you want to replace what you're talking about, right? Okay, so we're going to continue with more vocabulary. You have, for example, a pair of gloves. It's very important to say a pair of, it sounds better. A pair of pantyhose, a pair of ties. So as you can see, it's only one, but at the same time in English, you use a pair of pantyhose, a pair of tights, a pair of panties, a pair of pajamas, a pair of jeans, a pair of pants, a pair of shorts, a pair of boxers, a pair of briefs, a pair of socks, and a pair of shoes. Of course, in real life, sometimes people just say gloves, shoes, but you can say a pair of, okay? And we have here the comparative, which is very interesting as well, because in English, we are going to add two words. We have two options in English, okay? So obviously, we're going to use the comparative adjectives to compare. Obviamente los vas a usar para comparar más bonita que, más fea que, menos bonita que, menos fea que. So first thing, the words más o menos que vas a usar, more and less. Okay, we're going to be using more and less depending if you want to say más bonita que, menos bonita que. So we're going to be using this, but in English, we are going to divide the adjectives, okay? Hay adjetivos más largos y adjetivos cortos, ¿sí? Entonces, ¿qué es lo que va a pasar? If the adjective is small, ¿sí? Si es pequeño, vas a agregar la sílaba ER. Puede ser que a veces solo agregues R o que agregues IER. O a veces se dobla la consonante, ¿sí? If you can see, all of these adjectives are small. Todos estos adjetivos son pequeños. Mira, cuando digo pequeños es que son de una o dos sílabas. Tres sílabas o más, esto ya no se aplica. Repito, adding ER, R, IER o double consonant R, ER, you apply these rules when the adjective is only written with two syllables. Vas a aplicar estas reglas de agregar ER, R, IER o consonante doblada más ER con adjetivos en inglés que sean cortos, o sea, de una o dos sílabas. Por ejemplo, small, smaller, cheap, cheaper. Obviamente, cuando hay adjetivos de una o dos sílabas que ya terminan con la E, pues no vuelves a agregar una E. Large, larger, loose, looser. Cuando tienes adjetivos que terminan con Y, es cuando pasa, como en muchas ocasiones en inglés, le tienes que cambiar la Y por una I. Heavy, aquí tienes dos sílabas. Más pesado, heavier. Bonita, bonito, pretty. Más bonita, más bonito, prettier. Este termina en consonante. Observa cómo termina en consonante. Big es grande. Bigger, más grande. Doble la G. Doble la última consonante. Hot, hotter. Doble la T. Caliente, más caliente. ¿Ok? So this is very important and it's going to help you. But when you have an adjective that is with three syllables or more, que está hecho con o que tiene más de tres sílabas o más, ya no vamos a aplicar nada de esto. Simplemente agregas more o less. ¿Ok? Por ejemplo, tienes el adjetivo expensive, tres sílabas. So, more expensive. Tienes el adjetivo comfortable. So, less comfortable. ¿Ok? Tenemos también what we call irregular forms. We call them irregular because they're going to change completely. Like el mejor, better, mejor que, ¿no? Better. Y worse es peor. Por ejemplo, no existe gooder y badder. Es better or worse. Y en todos estos vamos a usar el than, porque el than es como cuando en español dices más bonita que. ¿Ok? So, basically, to sum up. If you have an adjective that has one or two syllables, you're going to apply the rules. Si tiene una o dos sílabas el adjetivo, por ejemplo, vamos a decir ugly, que es feo, ¿no? Termina en Y. Para decir más feo que, uglier, uglier, ¿sí? Uglier than. Siempre le agregas el than, es como tu qué. Tienes que eliminar la Y, le agregas IER, uglier than. Otro adjetivo que es corto. Ah, short. Short significa corto, ¿no? Termina en T. La tienes que doblar, la tienes que duplicar. Cuando digo doblar es duplicar, ¿no? Shorter than, más pequeño, más corto que. Manejemos un adjetivo largo, beautiful. Ahí no se aplica nada de agregarle ER o IER. Es agregar, por ejemplo, más hermoso, hermosa que, more beautiful than, o menos hermosa que, less beautiful than. Entonces todo depende de lo que tú quieras expresar. Let's try to complete this conversation to practice. It says, don't take that nightgown to Hawaii. It's hotter than it is here. Es más caluroso, más caliente de lo que es aquí. Hotter than. Duplico la T. Take something lighter. Take something lighter. Good idea. Duplico la T. Mm, what do you think of these red gloves? Beautiful. They're prettier than the black ones. Son más bonitos que los negros. And they're cheaper too. Si ves, tenemos puros adjetivos cortos aquí. Excuse me, do these pants come in a longer length? I'm sure they do. Let me see if I can find you a better. Este es irregular, por eso no existe gooder. Se cambia totalmente. Better. A ver, permítame aquí. I just love these pajamas, but I wish they were warmer. Well, these blue ones look warm. Blue is a really flattering color for you, and they're much more expensive. Este sí es largo, por eso usamos el more expensive, ¿ok? Solo tengo una duda. Déjeme revisar. I just have a question here. Um, because I'm not sure about this. I just want to confirm something. So give me 1 second because I know that when the adjective finishes in a consonant, you need to write the consonant twice, right? But still, I want to confirm. I don't want to say something wrong. So here you have it on your books on page 137. You have the same grammar rules. As you can see, you have to double the consonant if it finishes in consonant. You have to add ER with the rest of them. When it finishes with E, you have to add an R. And when it finishes with Y, you have to change it with IER, more or less. Okay. So yeah, we're doing good. We're doing good. And I recommend you to do the exercise from page 137 to try to confirm what we just learned. And so yeah, and 138 as well. There you have exercises that you can check with your teacher to confirm that it's clear, that the subject is clear. Okay. So finally, let me just stop sharing. Okay, so remember that this lesson was about the vocabulary of the clothes or clothes vocabulary, and we are comparing them. Shorter, larger, smaller, prettier, more expensive, less comfortable than. Recuerda que el than es como el que en español, ¿no? Más bonito que, etc. To finish, we're going to talk about stores, department stores, okay? Where are they? Ah, here they are. We have some vocabulary that is very interesting. Although we see this very often in stores, maybe even in Mexico, sometimes we use it in English. For example, you have store directory. It says bags and accessories, electronics, hosiery, lingerie, men's athletic wear, men's casual, men's outerwear, es la ropa que usas. Ahora sí que lo contrario a underwear. Underwear es la ropa interior y pues outerwear es la que es para exterior, ¿no? Tu camisa, tu pantalón. Men's shoes, men's sleepwear, photo studio in the basement, restaurant also at the basement, small appliances, women's casual, and women's shoes. I just want to check something very quickly with you. So remember that the word mujer It's spelled W-O-M-A-N, woman. It's kind of, yeah, woman. But when it's plural, no existe womans, right? You have to say W-O-M-E-N-S. So, sorry, W-O-M-E-N, women, women, woman, women, okay? Y recuerda, here, try to remember that ground floor, basement es diferente, ¿sí? Ground floor y basement. And you have some pictures here. So we have an image here that makes it easier, right? You have the elevators, the stairs, the entrance, stairs. But to imagine, oh, here it is, look. So the basement, oh, how can I make this smaller? Here it is, okay. So here it is. Look, we have the basement, que obviamente para nosotros si nos dicen basement es como el sótano. Ground floor es como el primer piso. Second, third, or top floor. Now, something very interesting is that in American English, sometimes they say ground floor, but in British, maybe they say first floor. And you have some prepositions of interlocation, like on the left, on the right, in the back, down the hall, ¿no? Todo derecho en el pasillo, in the front. So we're gonna try to use this as well when we're talking about a mall or a store where you buy clothes. So try to keep in mind this class is for you and you can see it as many times as you like. If you have any questions, you can write in the comments below. Thank you so much for trusting in ELSM to learn or improve your English level. See you soon. Bye.